Now, atheism is very fashionable these days, and atheist books are incredibly so. But you know what? They're not as good as my new one. Oh, come on, here it is. Give it a plug. I haven't done this in weeks. Heresy, 10 Lies They Spread About Christianity, Random House, McClelland and Stewart, Amazon.ca, Amazon.com. Buy it because my children are starving. OK, that's over. Dave Silverman, president of American Atheists, and he's in New Jersey. He was going to be in our studio in New York, but I think the cab driver must have been an evangelical and didn't go to pick him up. So how are you?
I'm very well. Thanks for having me on the show, Michael.
It's a great pleasure. Now, I've always wondered this about organized atheism. It's your perfect right, thank God, to not believe or to believe anything. But why organize?
Thank God.
Yes, exactly. Why organize as a group to deny something? Can't you just go through life saying, I don't believe?
Oh, well, because there's an issue when you're an atheist. We're the most hated group in the country, and we're the most downtrodden, and we're the most disliked. And we have to organize so that we can help ourselves, so that we can help other atheists come out of the closet, so that we can combat the huge amount of bigotry that faces atheism in America. It's not like simply not collecting stamps and getting together to discuss not collecting stamps. This is about civil rights. This is about equality. This is about freedom. This is about having our rightful place at the table as non-theists.
It's true. When I look at you, and I've read about you, you quite clearly are very similar to Martin Luther King. Give me a break here, man. Look, I've debated atheists so many times now. You're invariably white, middle-class guys who are angry at things. We know from the United Nations the most persecuted group on earth are Christians, particularly and principally in the Islamic and the communist world. But even in the United States, for example, Jon Stewart, who now says he's an atheist, on The Daily Show, he has a picture of a naked woman with her legs wide open, and in front of her genitalia is a little crib scene. And he refuses to apologize. It's happening all the time now. Atheists aren't persecuted. You're part of the fashionable, at least, majority within the chattering classes.
Right. You're absolutely right. And the Christians in this country, who are about 80% of the population, who have almost all of the representatives in Congress, all of the mayors, the president, everybody going back, the Christian community that actually stems stem cell research, that actually stops people from living lives as they see fit, they're the oppressed minority.
Give me an example.
We atheists,
give me an example of where Christians stop people. Hey, sir, listen to me. We're having a dialogue here. First of all, the president is a Christian. Strange definition. Christians are not opposed to stem cell research. Most of the professors who are leading the research are Christians. They're opposed to embryonic stem cell research. But what is the life? What is the life? What is the life that you're not allowed to lead? I'll ask the question again. What is the life that you're not allowed to lead due to Christian persecution?
Like I said, it's not about Christian persecution. It's about bigotry on the whole.
What's the life you can't lead?
American atheists cannot run for or cannot be elected to office in almost any state in this union. In case you haven't figured it out, I'm sorry, please stop yelling over me, sir.
But it's not true.
If you'd like to hear about it, you can feel free to ask. Right now, we're running 15% of the population, and we have one representative in Congress. One.
Why?
And that is because we are the most hated group, as opposed to the Christians,
David,
who have 99%
dialogue here.
in Congress.
David, you're trying to mislead people. You're trying to mislead people. What you've just said is you're not allowed to. No, you're not elected because people reject you. That's democracy, my friend. It's called freedom. Pardon?
Because of the prejudice against us.
They don't like you.
That's why we organize.
They think that you're not compelling. You don't make consistent arguments. You're allowed to run. Thank God you're allowed to run in a free society based on Christian principles. You're allowed to run. But that you keep losing. I've got to finish the sentence, sir. I'm sorry, you're not going to bully me. Because you keep losing, you blame Christians? Grow up.
Okay, so can you tell me where in the Bible it says anything about democracy, anything about God-given rights?
Why are we talking about the Bible
You keep
suddenly?
talking about these God-given rights. Tell me, where are these God-given rights in your Bible? Where does it say democracy, or where does it even hint at voting or equality or freedom of religion or habeas corpus or balance of powers? Anywhere in your wonderful Bible of truth and
Have
justice.
you ever wondered why you don't get elected? I mean, the venom that's dripping from you. I never said God-given. I've used the phrase "thank God" twice because I think it's rather annoying to you, and that's why I did it, to be quite honest with you. But I've not quoted the Bible at all. All I'm saying is you're trying to mislead people because you're saying you're not allowed to. No, you keep losing. Well, that's your problem, not mine.
And no, it is our problem. It is absolutely our problem. It is, however, your bigotry. Your bigotry is our problem, and that's why we organize.
Right.
That's why we make sure that people know that everybody in America and in Canada knows more atheists than they think they know.
Right.
We're already in your churches. We're already in your families. We are everywhere.
Okay.
You already love us. That's why the bigotry against atheists is so profoundly
Now,
stupid.
you've called me a bigot 4 times. I
have not called you a bigot.
How long do we have left, by the way? Give me a count here. How long? Got 2 minutes. You've called me a bigot. You've used the word bigotry so many times. Explain
different from calling you a bigot.
to the people. Well, I'm a Christian. Explain why I'm a bigot.
I called you a bigot. I have not called you a bigot.
Back up your accusation that I'm a bigot.
I'm sorry, I have not called you a bigot. I have said that there is a substantial amount of bigotry, specifically from the Christian crowd, against atheists. I have not called you a bigot. There's a big difference. You're trying to mislead people Michael.
You have actually called me, and you said you've used the phrase "your bigotry" over and over again. I will give you a minute now to explain to people and define how and why I'm a bigot.
I haven't said that you're a bigot.
Oh, you're backing down.
I don't know why you're trying to tell.
You've used your bigotry. So listen, twice you've referred to your bigotry, talking to me.
You asked me why atheists are organized. There's a substantial amount of bigotry and hatred against atheists in our countries. You have said it yourself. We can't get elected because we keep losing our elections.
Yes.
This is because people hate atheists because they don't know us.
Maybe they don't like you.
The purpose of organizing atheism is so that we can be known, so that we can erase the bigotry that, comes from a hell of a lot of Christians and Jews and Muslims, and actually establish ourselves in society in our rightful place.
Okay.
It's not crazy, and all we're asking for, in fact, all we're demanding is absolute equality. And that means persecution to some Christians.
When a Republican loses, is that because of bigotry? When a Democrat loses, is that because of bigotry? You see, how democracy works, at least in Canada, I'm pretty sure in the US too, is people run, they put forward their platform and their program, and then there's a vote, and some people lose and some people win. There may be a handful of bigots who won't vote for someone because of their race or religion or whatever, but generally speaking, they just decide. They keep deciding not to... Actually, they support atheists, but they don't support your sort of people. I wonder why that is.
How do you define that? How do you say that they support atheists, but they don't support my sort of people? What do you mean by that?
Well, the people who represent your organization, who are militant atheists, they seem to be incredibly irritating to people. Someone who is a sort of lukewarm, indifferent atheist, I don't think people really care. It's a professional, angry person. They're the ones who seem to fail to get elected, and I wonder why.
Because of the bigotry against atheists. We keep going over this. That's coming from the religious population.
Okay. All right. Well, you know what? There are so many bigots around. When I go to the United States, I find a lot of very decent, tolerant people. I didn't know it was full of bigotry. But you live and learn. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, Michael.